Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. It's frickin' over, ladies and gentlemen. There is simply no coming back from this. What we are witnessing here on display is the end of a presidency. At least that's what it has to mean. There can't possibly be any other outcome other than total, utter collapse of Joe Biden's support, or maybe you could argue Joe Biden gets replaced as the candidate because obviously this can no longer go on. This right here is the initial take. We're looking at a 90-minute debate here. I'm sure later on we'll get into the nitty-gritty, all the fact checks, hypocrisy, the policy talk. But as of right now, this is just surface level. Initial reaction as I'm watching this video, you Democrats gotta get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, friends, so we got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so this was Joe Biden's moment. Joe Biden had an entire week to prepare. The polling, of course, is looking horrible right ahead of the debate. Trump's up by 6, up by 4, up by 10, blasting big national leads with all the top pollsters and even some Democrat pollsters. And so it's time for Joe Biden to step up to the moment, right? It's his moment to shine. He goes away for an entire week to get ready for the moment, practicing standing up for 90 minutes. It's Joe Biden's Eminem lose yourself moment. You get that one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. Let's go Joe Biden Slim frickin' Shady. Give him all you got in the summation of his performance. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. This thing has to be wrapped up. I know I'm always talking about how Democrats never want to get into policy. And like I stated in the intro, we're going to get into policy, but just on a surface freaking level here, Joe Biden is clearly not okay. You can't even begin the policy talk because the president of the United States is completely incoherent.
Person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, for the ability for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies, well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400.
That right there, ladies and gents, is the main act. This is what the Democrats have to present. It's an unacceptable product. There's no way people are buying it. He is completely incoherent, constantly gaffing, and even when he's not gaffing, when he's not getting lost and making mistakes and forgetting what he was talking about, even when he's kind of managing to string sentences together or at least put words together, most of the time it's completely incoherent.
What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
This guy is freaking shot, man. It's game over just from an optics perspective. This was possibly the weirdest debate ever. You know, that's why it's so hard to predict the future. I think the expectation was for Donald Trump to come in, flexing muscles, Rocky Balboa Trump, UFC, WWE, boxing legend style, taking to the stage to totally expose and embarrass Joe Biden. But honestly, it wasn't even necessary. I feel like Special Prosecutor Robert Hur, sitting at the other side of the table just feeling bad for this feeble old man with poor memory who clearly can't get it together. I think that's probably how a lot of people feel. Yeah, this guy can't be president. He's exhibiting clear signs of old age and mental deterioration. And that story is told not through Joe Biden, obviously he's incoherent. The story is told when he's actually not speaking, not when he's speaking, through his facial expressions, when his mic is muted and it's someone else's time to speak.
And you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian. But they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one. Legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state. 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name.
Yeah, obviously, this guy is not okay. The man's literally malfunctioning before our very eyes, and it's obvious what happened here. He's a puppet. He went away for 7 frickin' days. He's the president of the United States. He has the most important job on the planet, but he just went away for 7 days to prep for this frickin' debate, for a 90-minute debate, completely neglecting his duty as president. Obviously, that tells us one thing: he's not really running the show, now is he? The guy's a frickin' puppet. And again, he proved it in the debate because he went away for 7 days to essentially get programmed. First, they had to get the cocktail right.
Those drugs are out there. They treat the cognition part of it. They try to, make it where he can think straighter and he's not lost and confused as much. And then there's drugs that actually just increase alertness, like Adderall and other types of amphetamine type drugs, maybe Provigil, things like that. And then there's a host of drugs that try to take the agitated edge off of most of these cognitive disorders. So I feel like they're probably giving him a little bit of all of this. They just have to get it just right. They all have different times of onset. They have different duration. They interact with each other. So it's a challenge, but I think they have no choice with what they're working with. They don't have much to work with.
Well, I mean,
that was the, let's call it medical programming, getting the fuel just right. And then they had to reprogram him. They gave him the freaking prepackaged talking points, the whole list. And that's essentially what Joe Biden did the entire night, just run through all the prepackaged, recently programmed into his brain fake news talking points. I mean, holy moly, the guy went through the freaking gauntlet on these. The whole night was, very fine people on both sides. Oh, you called them suckers and losers.
And I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser. Could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Did you ever hear any president say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again, until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people?
This guy's not debating. He's not processing information in real time and thinking, no, you're wrong, here's my counter argument. He's just going, January 6th, very fine people, Charlottesville. He's not thinking. He's a robot. They put him in that Joe Biden dementia boot camp, pumped him with the cocktail, and then pumped him with the programming. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump's about to skyrocket in the polls, and I can't wait to start talking about the focus groups, but we'll see what happens. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.